5:30 on a Sunday morning. For centuries, Maldon's played host to sailing barges like these. And without the background hum of the 20th century, it feels for all the world as if time itself has stopped. But with the high tide gently lifting the sleeping barges, for one little bit of history at least, it's time to get underway. A wisp of steam announces the start of another voyage for the steam tug Brent. She's a beauty, if not necessarily beautiful. Her designers were, after all, building a workhorse, not a racehorse. And now, after nearly 40 years of service, she's taking her owner and crew off on holiday.
Gordon, can you get ready to let go, please?
Right, Rob.
Okay.
Okay, all gone.
Thank you.
The voyage will take us out of the Blackwater estuary, past the mouth of the River Colne, northwards around the coast, past Clacton, to the River Orwell, and then up to Ipswich Dock, a distance of 50 miles. Since Ron Hall began restoring her, she's covered many nautical miles, including a trip to Holland. And there are quite a few feathers in her smoke-blackened cap. She was the last wartime tug to be launched, an identical design to tugs which helped in the D-Day landings. When the rest of London's tugs were converted to diesel, she alone continued steaming. She was the only steam-powered vessel on the Thames to attend both the Queen's coronation celebrations in 1953 and the Silver Jubilee 25 years later. In 1953, she towed the floats with the Queen's fireworks on it. In 1970, she was unceremoniously dumped in the breakers' yard. It took an experienced shipwright like Ron Hall, with a good deal of determination and not a little courage, to rescue her and begin the long job of restoration.
Oh, there you are. How long have you had her, Ron?
11 years.
And how did you come by her?
Well, she was laying in a scrapyard, just mouldering away, waiting to be broken up. And I've always been interested in tugs and steam things in general. And the idea came to me that perhaps she might be an interesting thing to preserve. No one else seemed to be preserving a steam tug at that time, so we went ahead and bought her. She will do round about 7 knots. Not at all fast, and certainly not fast for a modern tug. She was built and designed in the days when life was a little bit slower.
As Ron said, she's not fast, but who's in a hurry? After all, Ron and his family are on holiday, when they have a moment to spare, that is. After a few hours above deck, I finally couldn't resist the urge to explore the engine room.
Oh, it's hot down here. And steamy. I can't imagine what it must be like to work here, especially on a hot summer's day.
Well, now we're out here and I can't hit anything. Can I have a go?
Yes,
Right.
yes, do.
Right, now tell me, what should I be, if you'd like to come around there, give me plenty of arm room, what should I be looking for?
She was going fairly straight, so
Yes.
if she's going straight, leave her alone.
Right.
But try and pick a point on the horizon that is ahead of you.
Yes.
And if she's deviating from it, then move the wheel.
Yeah. I'm glad you're not letting me loose with us inside a dock area, I tell you.
Can I have a go at the whistle?
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
most people when they want to come aboard want to blow the whistle.
Yes,
so,
please.
I suppose you can, yes.
Oh, lovely.
Use up some of our hard-made steam.
Here we go.
At least the Dutch passengers aren't alarmed. They have a preserved tug themselves in Holland. And though they speak barely a word of English and neither Ron or his family speak any Dutch, their shared love of tugs makes them the best of friends. With so many people working up hearty appetites, Ron's wife spends half her time cooking. And they all need accommodation on this small boat. So surely space must be a problem.
Yes, that's the main drawback, really, that there isn't really quite enough room.
Now, as we've got Amelia playing here with us, how does she adapt to it?
Although we don't live on board, we're very fortunate to live right opposite where we keep the tug, and so every day she looks out of the window and she sees the tug, and very often we'll spend part of the day on the tug if the weather's good, and so it's always been part of her life ever since she was tiny. And I think she probably thinks that everybody's got a steam tug. You know, it's just part of life. It's not something unusual to her.
For a landlubber like me, being afloat in anything is exciting. And when it's a living, fire-breathing museum piece like Brent, there's a little touch of magic. But Ron has spent his life afloat. This is something of a busman's holiday. He's a modest, almost diffident person, and I'm still intrigued to find out what the thrill is for him, why he battles to keep her afloat.
I don't know. It's a very difficult thing to explain. I think it's the appeal of the water and small ships. I'm not particularly interested in large ships, and I'm not interested in small yachts. It's something in between, and steam is another attraction.
But now the journey's almost over. A quiet estuary, to the open sea, to Ipswich dock. A chance for everyone on deck to see the Brent in her element, brazenly showing off her abilities, doing the job she was built for. Manoeuvring in the tight confines of a dock, she's almost graceful. Every command meets with a powerful and rapid response. The skipper and crew are looking forward to a relaxing dockside drink and then planning the return journey. But for the steam tug Brent, well, she's already at home.
The tugboat Brent. Does that sort of voyage appeal to you, Peter?
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? I just love the look of it. So that thick metal, you know.
Yeah.
I was just thinking how enormously fast 17 knots were. We got this old tin hulk, and it actually only goes about 4 knots. It seems quite fast on occasion.